we face the truth about stress, we've got to get honest about the fact that stressing less is not just about time management. It's about you management. You're feeling pressure to get where you need to go on time already. Put that around you. Okay, and how many of you by now, by the time you get out of the shower, you're already hearing, Mom, Dad, right? How many of you have kids at home? How many of you had them come back home? I'm sorry. You got to get in the car or get on the Gen bus or you just can't leave your cell phone at home. What are you going to do? She would waste time turning around and going back for it. Okay, and now you're driving and you're starting to feel a little bit of stress, and then that guy cuts you off in traffic. Oh, but you know what? You're just gonna shift your perspective and say, oh, he probably has diarrhea. Okay, and as soon as you get to work, usually one of the first things you do is check emails. So here, you can have the keyboard to start checking. You can have the mouse. And there's so many emails that come in every day that most people I know nowadays are praying for spam. Please let it be spam so I don't have to answer. Here, get going. You're talking all day long. And have you ever noticed there are so many people that take forever to get to the point, and then there's some people that when they finally get there, there's still no point. I mean, drives you insane. And so you're gonna get your ears talked off, so you're gonna need this. Who wants these? Sure. Okay, you were listening. All right. I'll tell you, there's always those people in the office that you have to avoid because they're selling their kids crap. Do any of you take homework because you didn't get enough done? And you know what? You don't even get to go home yet, guys, because you have to go to a networking meeting, right? Yeah. And besides, it looks like you can use another hand. But don't get too comfortable, guys, because guess what? Somebody's got a game. You've got to be there because no one can have low self-esteem anymore. All right, so come on. Get cheering. All right, now here's the deal. It is late at night, right? You are both spent, you are tired, you cannot even imagine doing one more thing. Yep. But guess what? Ellen, what? Someone's waiting for you. Ba, 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 because we're all so excited that night. Tony, I wouldn't leave you out. There you go. It's just you!
I'm Courtney Cogill, a past national president of the Accounting and Financial Women's Alliance. We just heard Colette's presentation, and I will say that it was one of the best presentations I've heard in several years. What Colette did that made it so relevant was that she talked about presenting yourself in a way that she added huge data and delivered it with a spoonful of sugar. And by that spoonful of sugar, I mean an entertainment factor that made her message stick. The women in this audience will remember what she said today, now, next year, and the year after. I can't highly recommend her enough for what she did.
So why don't we ask? Yeah, I mean, we could throw out a bunch of reasons, but you put them in a blender, hit crush, it's fear. Exactly. And I get this. I really do get this. You've heard of whiplash? I had wimplash. Seriously, I spent the better part of my life romancing the spoon, to the tune of carrying around 50 extra pounds, and it was never about the food. I was using the food to protect myself so that I didn't have to speak my truth, so I didn't have to get real, be vulnerable, take risks, possibly get rejected. I have a question for all of you, and I want you to really take it seriously before you answer. Have any of you in this room ever been rejected before? And you're here to tell the story. So you have to get better and more comfortable at asking for what you need to be successful, whatever that looks like to you. Which is why I want to tell you quickly about my father. My father was a prisoner of war in World War II. He got captured in the Battle of the Bulge. He's laying on the floor in a German hospital, and the doctors are by his feet talking about the fact that they are going to amputate because of the frostbite. Now, I don't know about you, but that's some pretty buzzkill news. Well, my father's laying there, and this little boy walks by. His name's Peter. He's 10 years old, and he's the cook's son. And my dad, just being my dad, even through that bad news, just smiled at Peter. And I know that smile. And my dad said that Peter hesitated, but then came over and asked my father if he would help him learn English. And so they spent the rest of the day doing that. That evening, as a thank you gift, Peter had snuck into the kitchen and swiped a bottle of peppermint schnapps for my dad as a thank you. And my dad drank the entire bottle. Through the pain, he was able to massage his feet all night long. And because alcohol is also a blood thinner, when the doctor showed up the next morning, they saw just enough circulation to say, you know what, we're going to wait. Which is a pretty cool thing, because my dad went on to play professional football for the Detroit Lions and the Philadelphia Eagles. And more importantly, he danced with me at my wedding. Beautiful things can happen when you ask.
My name is Rachel Asselson with Reach Partners for the Women's Health Conference, and I want to tell you how great it's been to have Colette Carlson with us today. In fact, we had her here not too long ago in North Dakota in Fargo. She was wonderful, wonderful person to work with. She brought just the right message that we needed to bring to our women across North Dakota. So we had to bring her back 2 times.
Now today we have a full day of sessions and keynotes so that you can refresh your career. And especially because APC works very hard to bring you in the quality faculty so that you can take away the strategies you need to be the best you can be. All right, who went on the power walk this morning? I was going to say I didn't see you. Well, if you desire, remember tomorrow is another opportunity, 6:30 a.m. out in front of the Paris Conference Center with our Rockin' Power trainer to see Vegas during daylight, all right? Have any of you ever wanted to be in a flash mob? All right, here's your chance.
Confusion, 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 confusion.
I am thrilled to be able to introduce our keynote speaker this morning. Anna Quinlan began her journalism career in 1974 as a reporter for the New York Post, before, of course, being hired away by the New York Times in 1977 and worked her way up the masthead. Please welcome Anna Quinlan.
Okay, I want you all just to take a moment and give it up for the fact that Colette can really dance.
To welcome J.R. Martinez. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please welcome this incredible individual to our Braveheart stage, Helen Hunt. Our very first executive assistant that I would like to introduce has worked for General Colin Powell for 20 years. How has he influenced you when it comes to leadership?
As he says, to be a leader, you don't have to be the CEO in the corner office. Everybody can be a leader.